name almost eluded me. I've always thought could be good on this map, but we've seen mixed results. Do you expect anything different or just dive across the board?
I think it's got to be dive. I mean, if anything, maybe throw in a Reinhardt, depending on if you expect another Reinhardt. Otherwise, it's no reason to run a Reinhardt. I'm just saying that because I kind of mained him last season, and now I feel useless with him. But Team Expert already going to go into this middle ground and towards the white room, as Cyclowns, more importantly, getting control on the points. They're forcing Expert to come to them, most importantly. And at Latex, look, we talked about this before, diving in, has to know where support players to back away. This time, not going to work out as they got shoved a little bit too far back and towards their own spawn. But you can see he was aware of where they were going to be.
One of the things that you don't see a whole lot in this region is that they are running a D.Va, actually, and that can actually help to do a lot of damage to the tanks. Very good at shutting down Latex, as he was the one in the kill feed. And he's also going to be good at shutting down Destro, who's going to be having a more difficult time. So next, in that flex position on the D.Va, we'll see how long he stays. They have grabbed the first point during all of this. Valus goes down, though, and now that's a great go sign for Cyclones to come back in.
Yeah, you can see, I think that's going to be Tally's going to pop that sound bear down. Catch only under 3. Cranks and Vision not really in a position to get that one, unfortunately. Destra's going to take him down. You can still see Pops towards the right-hand side, now left, just trying to dash through, trying to look for some sort of damage. Actually, if anything, just buy some time, because Destro, he's not being punished. He's doing so much free damage from white rooms, from white halls, and just that alone, with him just dashing around, Pops just being that distraction for the team, allows Destro to go huge.
It was an interesting soundbar to me. I think that Tally's panicked. And we talk about poise, but he was so low that it was mostly, I'm doing this to keep myself alive, to have this point stalled out a little bit. And I think he missed maybe a couple of the sight lines there. So that will be turned back over to Cyclowns.
It worries me, though, to have nerves at this phase. Like, we were watching NIP in the round of 16 almost not qualify for Contender Season 1. That's where the nerves should be kicking in. But now that you know, all right, well, we're in, boys. Like, we made it through. You should have no pressure on you. So it's really kind of weird to see that.
It is very strange, and I think it's the difference between some of the support plays right now. Team Expert is coming back, and they will have plenty of ults to use. Transcend will be the first dueling Zoomyadas on the point.
Why? I don't understand, because we have Dragon Blades up for both teams. It's going to come down to, can Cranks get the shots, or can Pox do it with the blade? Pox immediately going to pick up that first go, and Tally's over towards that right-hand side near the Mega, and it looks like they're going to win out the battle. Cranks actually didn't even use his blade there. He realized maybe the sound bridge is going to be too difficult to deal with.
The self-destruct will find some in the back, and Expert getting the better part of this fight, but still some stall valuable seconds coming in as it ticks up for Cyclones here. Latex has the primal rage out, so he's stalling out. Davin's going to be a nuisance on the point, runs into a Tracer. TVT very volatile, but it is his buddy Destro is going to help him in there. And despite having a good opening to this fight, not a good close for Expert as it continues to wind up for Cyclones.
It's been like 15-20% into this point being contested. Expert just cannot get the control. They cannot solidify the kills that they need to turn this around. Craig's finally dealing with Davin, who's been such a nuisance here, just dashing back and forth. But the kills, they're still going blue. They're still going Cyclowns. Valus, yes, he's able to finally pick up a kill on the Pox, but they don't have the control. They don't have the people, and they have to give it up yet again. So Cyclowns holding on for 20% in contention, still maintain the point.
It's something I see happen far too often on control point. The illusion of chance. The illusion that we're still in this fight if we just get one more ult in, but you've been staggering for the last 30 seconds, and you didn't take the time to understand where your position actually was. Decon goes down very early to Davin, and they're still going to sound barrier right after at about the same time. They're going to have a lot more health, but now it fades away. They're going to come in on the other side with Transcend as the victory cake. Victory candle. Victory cake. What's that?
I'm hungry too. Don't worry. We can go to this after the show. But in the meantime, Cyclowns, they're the ones who are going to be eating their cake here on the first point of these Lijiang towers. They do force Expert back. Decod going to contest the point maybe 1 second longer, but nonetheless, Cyclowns now 2 maps away of Lijiang tower to get through.
You know what it is because since you've been away from America for so long, you don't understand how cake-filled our culture has been. So walking through the grocery store with Jason is just him like,
ooh,
yeah, like
ooh,
you got
piece of candy.
Yeah,
Ooh, taco. Ooh, Taco Bell. Ooh, this cake. Ooh, that ice cream.
You're like, look at all these flavors of Oreos. I didn't even know they made them.
That reminds me of the biscuit and gravy's Lay's chips we saw yesterday at the market. That just disgusts me, but also intrigues me enough that I might buy it next time we go there.
I have one word for you: America.
Yeah,
America.
Great country.
I mean, they should have just named those America, and it would have made the same amount of sense.
Southern America.
Yeah,
Southern American flavor. We move on to the next point of the Lijiang Tower. It looks like Team Expert will be continuing to use Nex on the D.Va, which we did talk about as dealing with Destro, but to be fair, dealing with Eps too. Yeah. Dealing with those right clicks, the Orbs of Destruction, which we've seen catch off a number of people.
I don't think he had the greatest impact, though, and so I'm not sure how familiar he is with D.Va. That's a nice dive in, though, as Team Expert comes in, is able to take out the opposing Genji, still looking for more 2 kills. And Vision has come alive, I think, a little in these last few rounds. He's had a bigger impact than he did on Gibraltar, at the least, and they give up all the positioning on the point. A very easy first capture after a well-executed dive from Expert. They have the potential to do so.
Well, David just wasted all of his dashes to get into the point to stall for a millisecond, and now he's have to wait for those resets to come back through, and we're gonna see these discords come through. I actually like Vanus' position around the back. The problem is David can flank around. You can see Cranks, though, being very aware, looking in the different directions to making sure that no one directly gets behind them. And David has a lot of work ahead of him here, but if he can get this one clip, if he can take down Vanus, they actually have a good opportunity to pull this one back, but Abs has already fallen.
That was a beautiful pivot early to save Vanless's life, as Nex did swing around, kept him inside the Matrix, but on the other side of things, it is Pox hitting headshots with his shurikens, able to grab 2, able to grab the 3rd as Nex now off the cliff. So the nice distraction there from Davin, at the very least, to bring the focus around to him, getting the Zenyatta so low, open things up for the rest of his team. As Tracer, you don't always have to get kills. At least that's what I tell my team when I play with them.
That's what I tell myself when I play Tracer, and I tell them, guys, I don't have to get kills as long as I'm
distracting. You just do your job. I'm doing mine. Here comes the false bomb. And on the side, no! Does not get it. Davin's plans are literally dashed as Cranks comes through and takes him out before he can land the bomb.
All right, well, Expert actually going to invest in Sound Bear, so hopefully nothing more than this. They don't need to commit too much for to take the point back, because Cyclowns have already completely backed away from this one. They're going to commit it. Actually, we're going to see the re-attack commit a Cyclowns Crusade. What was that, son? Why pop that? Because you didn't even commit a fight off the back of that. That had to have been a misclick.
A fat finger, as we like to call it here, and David will go down. This fight is effectively over, as both DPS for Cyclowns have been put out of this match. That's the cherry on top right there.
Ice cream cake. Ice cream cake later. I hope we get a replay of that post bump, because there was no Graviton surge to facilitate that. He just...
Someone might have mistaken, ran into their team with it, a dash into their team maybe. That's the only way I can see it happening.
Flashbacks from last night. But the thing is, for Cyclowns, like, that was a complete wipe. That's another 10, 15 seconds off the board for them. They can use the Transcendence and the Blade at the same time. Cranks, he's just to wait. Just hold on to your Blade, use when the Trance is gone if you still have enough people alive, and you can win this fight. Problem is, they've lost Vanus, they've lost Envision, they're now losing Tallies, they have no supports left. It looks like he's gonna commit this one to the next fight.
Going in one by one, but all this time, though, it has still been Expert, despite how the kill feed is now looking for Cyclowns. Finally taking it back over 79%. That's about the one-fight territory for Expert. So what you need to do now, and even if it takes you a couple junk rushes of going in and forcing the other team to use ults, stack some ults, go in. You only need one fight, Expert.
Latex, so we gotta be careful for Expert, actually. You have to go through main. If you go around that left-hand side or the right-hand side from this position, you can easily be knocked off this map, and you can say goodbye to another 20, 30%. But they get the D-suit, most importantly, next. I mean, that's gonna be huge for Destro if he gets his attack visor off in this fight, because he's gonna have no one actually contesting, no one to stall for him, and he's gonna get so much free damage off. Even next, almost actually about to go down here as Pox cleans up that kill. So they get a kill for free, they invest a Prama Rage, which is a very quick recharge and ultimate, and they hold for another 20 seconds. The Expert need to force a fight on the terms that they want.
You'll take that trade. However, Expert is building up their arsenal at this moment, too. They're going to have Transcend, they have Sound Barrier. If you have 2 support ults and the other team doesn't, you should win this fight.
Well, Cranks is going to have a tough time, then, because FC does have that Trance available. He's going to pop this one off. You can see not a lot of damage being done. Even the pulse bomb sticking to him. You saw what he did. He actually got stuck with the pulse bomb. He ran away from his team because he's a lot faster than them.
Right.
Kills no one with it. The counter trance is going to be used, though. In the meantime, they're fighting off the point. They're actually getting so much free percent for Cyclones that they've even been forced to contest.
And here comes the late Sound Barrier, too, because they don't need it for the next fight. They want to end it right here, right now. Pox with a double Dragon Blade kill. Crusade comes in and takes out the Genji. And another pulse bomb. That should be it. Cyclowns now one stage away from winning this set.
I love the timing of throwing a pulse bomb onto a D.Va who's D-suiting, because right when she gets out of the suit, surprise, a pulse bomb. So there we go. Yeah, Cyclowns. I actually pitted like Expert to most likely win Lijiang Tower. And they've had really close matches so far here. It's just they haven't had that final nail in the coffin. Maybe that communication within the team to like think ahead, you know, to be forward thinking of what's the next fight. What do we need to say for that fight?
Yeah, because of the 3 maps we watched Gibraltar and we're like, well, that looked bad for Expert.
Right.
We watched Control and we're like, well, that's clearly their best mode.
Yeah.
And then we watched Anubis and we're like, that was just a bonkers hold. I have no idea how they did that. So I was in the same camp with you. I thought Expert, their best chance was going to be on Control, but so far, making a few mistakes. It's not like they've been completely one-sided. They've had chances in these fights, so not quite over yet, but the route they're gonna have to go will be the reverse sweep one. Here as we enter in over the holographic koi ponds. I didn't know they were holographs. I just thought I was really bad at fishing. Nothing. All right, sorry.
I just flashbacks to my times fishing, and I was too scared to even put the worms on the hooks, but I was the wuss when I was a kid. Yeah, I still am. But in the meantime, we do see both teams switch away from the Genjis, right? So we have Pox playing the Soldier. We do see Craig's playing the Soldier as well instead of Nex, who's been doing it before. So we're seeing, mirror comps between the two teams with the 2-2-2. But it seems like Cyclowns are a little bit more competent when it comes to playing that style for now.
Yeah, no Genjis on the field just yet, and I think that might be something that maybe Expert wants to look into if they get the chance. Put Crinks back on a Genji. If it's not going well at about 50%, then you start having to do those change-ups. I think a Genji can always work on any map if you really have the player for it. The dive comes in very early, not necessarily a follow, kind of a fake dive. Kind of went in, dropped the bumble, and it backed right out through it.
You can see in Vision too, he's trying to do the flank, do what Davin did before against Expert on that last map. Just come in from a different angle, force him to look at you. The boot gonna come in, it looks like someone to get knocked off. Yeah, it's gonna be Pox, so a big damage dealer is now down. The problem is he gave up his own life for this as well.
The Lucio down, the D.Va de-suited. There is a little pressure on the point, but someone at least over there is to stall it out. Cyclowns is going to use this sound barrier on the chase. Maybe didn't need it, but my thing with sound barrier is if you're going to use it offensively, at least get 2 kills. I mean, at least make it somewhat worthwhile. They did. Not certain it was necessary, though. I think that fight was already in their favor.
It's kind of awkward considering that Cyclowns had the point.
Yeah.
But they were like on the bridge.
Right.
They weren't even contesting on the point, but instead of Expert fighting on the point, which we saw happen just in the last map on Night Market, they just fight them head out and then try to take the point after, which they didn't have the opportunity to.
Well, Epps is going to transcend here. The zoning destruct will come in as well. Epps actually has to get out of there as Decod is knocking people around, does knock Pox off the edge. Vision trying to get on, is so close to being able to flip this over, but Davin comes in with a pulse bomb, able to take out Crinks there. So if they can get some stall, they should be able to get reinforcements. Finally able to take out the Lucio, but look, here come those reinforcements.
Yeah, 77% built up. They're still looking at another 10-50% just because of stalling alone. And finally, Expert are going to turn the point in the last few seconds here.
But the difference between 60% and 80% is huge. It's a fight difference. You only have to get one more now if you're Cyclowns. Pox is going to have the visor. Nex has self-destruct too. If that self-destruct comes out, Pox is just going to pop the visor and find an angle because it means no Matrix is going to be in his way.
The problem for Expert is that they don't really have anything to stop, or they don't have any ultimates that actually transition off this.
No,
and
here should come Pox. Now, like, that self-destruct didn't get anything. I thought they were going to run right past through it. Didn't have the angle, though. They're going to really focus on de-suiting the D.Va to try to get maximum value out of this visor. Visor is popped on the bridge, actually. A little bit odd, but they're sending people on the point, killing supports while all of this is happening.
So Destro gets the D-suit with the help of a Discord orb. Most importantly, out of Epps, so really trying to focus his targets down, really being mindful for his team of what we need to kill. And ideally, they should be able to turn this point around. Thing is, they did commit a lot of ultimates, but they have double support to deal with anything Expert throw at them. And luckily for them, there's just nothing offensively that's going to come their way. There's no pulse bomb. Attack Visor's not ready just yet, and he's not really going to have it up to kick off the fight. Maybe he'll get it later on, but that gives time for Davin to maybe stick him, maybe take him out of the fight completely.
Last chance coming in here. They have to win this fight. Does Expert. First of all, comes off Decod and already down. The Transcend will come in, but it is 6v4 on the point as desperation in the eyes of Team Expert as they look in. They have to use everything. Use them if you got them. Crusade with another couple of kills, all blue in the kill feed. Team Expert, not their grandest of showings. And right now, it does not look like they're going to even be able to stall. Discord and deleted. How we like to say things around here. Dallas will get a little revenge onto his fellow Lucio, but that's it. I feel overall, and you feel free to disagree, that Team Expert wanted to fight regardless of position. They could have forced fights in positions. They could have gone to the point and made them come to them.
Right.
They were going into different spots that weren't ideal for them. And this was one of their best points because they rotated to the point and made the fight come to them. They didn't get too aggressive on it. They weren't looking for a fight. They were looking for control. They played the objective simple enough.
I'm trying to actually think, is this Cyclowns playing really well, or is this Team Expert kind of not playing up to what they've hoped to, or maybe what we've hoped for them to do?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
I would say that it's a little bit of maybe what I would expected coming into this one. Of course, Cyclowns, which with many more recent results. Yesterday, they lost against United. And, it's hard to really argue that United, they were the favored one in that one. And that one actually went to 2-1. So out of this group of the lower-seeded teams, I mean, Cyclowns definitely already have their foot and everything underneath them. Whereas, like a lot of teams coming into this event at large, not every team. I mean, Team Experts, they still need to solidify. And I guess my question to you guys, is this at least a starting point for them that they can work with over the next couple of weeks?
I think expectations were pretty high for them yesterday after they had played so close with Movistar Riders. I thought that was where our expectations were, so we thought that they had the potential already. Yesterday showed us the potential. We were looking for today to realize it.
And to be fair, for a lot of these teams who played yesterday, for almost 12 hours, 10, 12 hours. Coming into today, play another 10 to 12 hours. Like, that's a lot of Overwatch to cram into such a small amount of time. Right. So you don't really have the opportunity to work on any mistakes that you realized that happened yesterday. You obviously don't want to practice right after playing for that long. But for Expert in particular, they have, a week to 2 weeks to actually, work on a couple of things that they messed up, some time to relax, take a second to watch the VODs back, see what they did right, see what they did wrong, and then come back stronger. I know Vainless, I know him as a person. I've known him for a couple of years now. He's a very smart person, and I know he's going to be skimming through all these VODs to find out what went wrong.
Yeah, and they will have the time now. A little bit of a breather so they can inhale and exhale a few times before hitting the field of battle once again. Well, we're going to be hitting the field of battle in just a bit with the other semifinal match. And the semifinal match, by the way, is going to be Ninjas with Attitude facing off against Gamers Origin. We watched Gamers Origin earlier. Ninjas with Attitude, they actually beat Team Alpha off stream, and it went as long as it possibly